Andre Wade was just released once again to put down them little old vittles and feeling pretty good. Insulin, I guess, doing its work. I was looking at one of the comments and they was asking, how did you handle your diabetes when we was on lockdown? Well, one thing about TDC, they really try to take care of their diabetics. When we on lockdown, each building, they go pick up the diabetics and they take them to the medical and give them their insulin. One thing I used to get tired of, peanut butter snacks, because all diabetics, they have to give you a snack and it's gonna be either a cheese sandwich or a peanut butter sandwich, no jelly, no nothing, just straight up peanut butter. Then when they just get tired and they've been on lockdown for so long, they start giving you that mixed peanut butter with jelly. But they try to take care of the diabetics even on lockdown. If you one of them kind of diabetics like I respect all people, I'm a humble dude. Time made me humble. When you done over 10 years of prison time and you done been through so much and all that stuff that goes on in prison, you just get tired. I remember the last time I was on medium custody before I allowed myself to really go home, to give my chance to go home. I was on there with a guy, and he had came up about a couple months before me. And they gave him a year set off, and me and him had been on a few units together. But he was in a different game than I was. And he told me, man, when they seen me one day, I say, man, I seen them people. He said, oh, Dre, they gonna give you a year set off like they gave me. I say, no, they ain't gonna give me no year set off. I say, they gonna give me parole. He said, how you figure that? I say, cause God is my parole lawyer. I got the best in the business. And I said, and then I gave everything up, man. I gave up everything that I was doing wrong in prison. I gave it up. I had to sacrifice. They say, I learned that in order to receive something, you had to give up something. So I gave up them things, and God knew my heart, and He knew that what I gave up, and a lot of inmates that had been knowing me for years, they knew I had gave it up. I gave it up, man. Listen to me. I gave it up for freedom, and God blessed me with a FI. After doing 20-something years, He allowed me to get an FI. I told you that God goes into them parole hearings. And when enough is enough, He gonna give you your freedom. But you got to stand on faith. You have to stand on faith. I had to stand on faith. I had to really, truly believe that He was gonna free me. And I gave up everything, man. I stopped doing everything. Everything that I was doing, man, I was going to church, man. I was I was singing in a choir. Man, I was doing everything that was right, man. I was taking up summer classes. I got so many certificates. It wasn't so much for the parole, but it was for me. Because this is what I was going to need once I was freed. I didn't want to come out here sounding like nobody that's been locked up just 20-something years. Yeah, I can talk about some things that took place that was violent in prison. And I know some of my viewers, those are some of the things they like hearing. But don't you want to hear how not to be a part of violence? And the way I learned to stay away from violence, because, I prayed on a daily basis and I asked for God for guidance. That was one of the things I asked for. I asked Him for tolerance, for knowledge. So I was able to not worry about somebody going off on me. Man, I had got to the point where if a person called me a B, I was overlooked at, but that didn't come a lot because I could see it. I could see it coming. I could see a fool because I used to be a fool. See, I used to fire off on somebody if you talked it too loud to me. You couldn't just raise your voice at me. But I had to humble myself to that stage because words don't hurt me. I had to learn that words don't hurt me. Because there's one thing I know. A person that do a lot of bumping, they're not going to fight. They're not going to fight. It'll take a whole lot for them to fight. So I was able to overlook it, but a lot of that didn't come my way because I stopped playing dominoes. I stopped playing free dominoes a long time ago. We played knock for money. And we played knock all day to ragtime sometime. But I must got away from the knock table because most of my fights started at the domino table, the free domino table, because when you're playing free dominoes with somebody, they feel like they can just say anything to you. They feel like they done got so familiar with you because they done played dominoes with you 4 or 5 times. And these are the kind of characters that's coming to the prison today. And then just didn't know that just some things you couldn't say to a person that knew how to do time. Hit you with a domino in my hand. You know what a domino would do to your face? When it's in the middle of your hand, make that solid. Make it solid. I'm talking about. Man, what he hit me with, man? And I big. See, I didn't want them kind of things. I ain't want nobody stealing off on me. I got clicked on one time on Styles Unit. I got clicked on behind some nothing. And that clickness almost started a riot because, like I say, man, a lot of people knew me. A lot of, Bloods, a lot of Crips, a lot of Mandingos. One of my best partners, he was one of the head Mandingos over there. Man, he was ready to go do some stabbing because them Mandingo boys, they ain't about that fighting. Them boys coming with knives. Them boys coming, you talking about messing with one of them, a serious Mandingo warrior. I ain't talking about them playful kids. Them boys was coming with knives and it was gonna be some bloodshed. But I accepted that. I went on by my business because guess what? Just to show you how fate worked. The boys clicked on me. Ended up going to see one of the ones that did the clicking with the other guy. He ended up snitching on the man, setting the man up. Setting the man up, man. The games dudes play, man. Man, dudes play some foul games in prison. But after that, about 2 weeks later, I had a parole interview. Now, what if I would have just took flight and done what some of the dudes wanted me to do or wanted to do? I'd have been still in prison. Still in prison. Some things you just gotta overlook. Words don't hurt nobody, man. As long as they ain't putting their hands on you, man, don't worry about no words. Because some of y'all in the prison on the accident. Yeah, some of y'all on the prison on the accident. They ain't had no business going to prison. But try to not worry about spoken words that don't mean anything. Because anybody that's bumping, they ain't gonna do nothing, man. I told you, man, the guys prey on weak people. They ain't gonna prey on nobody they know that's gonna do something to them. I might have had 4 fights in prison after all them years. And the reason why I ain't had number 4, because one of them fights, I hit a fool with something. And when they know you'll use something, they know, man, that what it's gonna take to come at you. Because after so many years, you ain't finna be doing no fighting. You ain't got to prove yourself. You already have. That's why you made it so far. Some dudes ain't made it that far. Some dudes, man, went to PC, couldn't take it. Because once you show that weak side, that's a wrap. They coming at you. Them wolves coming at you, boy. Them girls know what it's like up in there. Them girls even must got to stay still. They got to stay down because they just as worse in the women's penitentiary. They have more fights in the women's penitentiary. They have more fights in the punk tanks. than they do in the regular tanks. Serious. Andre Wade was just released once again at you.